What if I told you that somewhere within the vast, vibrant continent of Africa lies the secret to not just financial stability, but actual wealth? Today, we're diving into a treasure trove of opportunities that most people overlook. Yes, we're talking about Africa, a land rich in resources, culture, and potential, yet often underestimated in the global market narrative. In this video, I'm going to unveil 10 business ideas that are not just profitable, but could potentially catapult you into the realm of the wealthy. These aren't your run-of-the-mill business suggestions. These are carefully curated, highly lucrative opportunities that tap into the unique needs and untapped markets of the African continent. From tech startups harnessing the power of mobile connectivity to agricultural innovations feeding the nation's booming population, these ideas are game changers. But here's the catch. While these ideas hold the promise of riches, they also come with their own set of challenges and risks. Navigating these can be the difference between a failed venture and a flourishing empire. So, are you ready to discover which of these business ideas could make you the next big success story in Africa? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might just be packing your bags and setting your sights on new horizons. Let's explore these opportunities together, and I'll show you why Africa could be your goldmine. Number 1. Poultry farming. Chicken rearing and other poultry farming require little effort to run and are one of the best businesses to start in Africa. With how Africa enjoy their meat, you will make good money from keeping poultry. There is always a party going on that will require the meat. Eggs are also a favorite among Ghanaians. The best thing about this type of farming is that you do not need to have a lot of money or chicken to start. You can sell the meat, eggs, or even the chicks. Number 2. Waste recycling. Africa produces large amounts of waste every day. Most of these end up burned or washed away into the landfills and water bodies. This creates another problem for the African population. Hygiene and cleanliness are among the challenges Africa has been facing for years. If these challenges remain unaddressed, the problem will only get worse. Fortunately, entrepreneurs in South Africa and Ethiopia found a way to turn waste into a useful resource. Agriprotein is a South African invention that turns collected waste into animal feeds. In Ethiopia, they collect the waste from their cities and convert it into energy. This allowed companies to provide electricity to millions of homes across the country. 40% of the population growth in the world is expected to take place in Africa by the year 2050. With that, the waste is also set to increase. By starting waste recycling company now, you'll have the chance of reducing the waste before it piles up. Waste recycling provides an opportunity for businesses to help the African environment and people. Number 3. Fish farming. Everyone loves eating fish. Many Africans enjoy some quality fish in their meals. Fish farming may seem like it requires a lot of energy to run, but the opposite is true. With just a little space and a pond, you can start with the little money in your savings. Things to consider are a good location for your farm and a good water source. Your fingerlings should also be healthy. Finally, decide on the type of fish to keep before making any purchase. Tilapia fish is a good choice for those starting. Number 4. Dry cleaning. Doing laundry is among the top untapped business opportunities in Africa. With an affordable dry cleaning agent in the area, many people will choose to bring you their dirty laundry for cleaning every week. As a result, the dry cleaning business is quickly picking up in Africa and making entrepreneurs rich. Number 5. Agribusiness. Some parts of Africa are boasting with climates that are perfect for farming. In fact, Africa owns 60% of the world's arable land. However, most farmers in the country do not have access to capital that allows them to cultivate their land. If they rely on the farmers alone, many African countries will experience food shortages. For this reason, agribusiness in Africa remains to be profitable. Recently, the concept of crowd farming is gaining much attention from the public. Crowd farming happens when people in one community pool funds to help farmers produce food. In turn, the investors get a supply of those crops during the harvest season. The African government currently spends at least $30 billion on food imports. However, if people continue to support local agribusinesses, the country can produce enough food for its people. This lessens the need for the government to spend much on imported food. Number 6. Solar power. Many areas in Africa enjoy at least 300 days of sun all year long. Thanks to that, Solar energy is abundant in African nations. But even with that, several African families are still left without electricity. The best thing about solar energy is that it's free and it's sustainable. A lot of companies have tapped into this resource to provide electricity to millions of African homes. If you have a knack for sustainable energy, a solar power business might be a good business idea for you. Every year, up to a third of food produced globally is lost or wasted, causing up to $1 trillion in annual economic losses. The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, estimates about 40% of food produced in sub-Saharan Africa is wasted each year, amounting to 170 million tons. Wasting food at this scale is unconscionable in a continent that struggles with food security. In Nigeria alone, the agricultural sector loses up to $268 billion in post-harvest losses every year, according to a March 2022 report by USAID. Many cold storage facilities require grid electricity, which is often expensive and unreliable. Also, high fuel costs limit the use of diesel and petrol power generators. This is why solar-powered cold storage solutions hold the key to unlocking Africa's capacity as a food production powerhouse. With abundant year-round sunshine in many parts of the continent, solar-powered cold storage systems provide a cheap, clean, modular, and decentralized energy source for preserving millions of tons of food across the continent. Interestingly, a growing number of innovative startups in Africa are focused on solving the food waste problem by penetrating the market with solar-powered cold storage solutions. Coldbox, which operates in Nigeria, provides solar-powered cooling units under lease-to-own and pay-as-you-go models to business owners in off-grid locations. The company received $500,000 from the Shell-funded Impact Investment Fund, all on, and raised up to $3.5 million from investors. Inspira Farms provides small-scale solar-powered cold storage facilities for horticultural farmers in Africa. Its clients include Kakuzi plc, the largest producer of avocados in East Africa, and Lauada Farm, a major producer and exporter of blueberries in Zimbabwe. Cold Hubs is an innovative plug-and-play solar-powered walk-in cold room solution that is installed in farms and open-air markets in parts of Nigeria. Based on a pay-as-you-store subscription model, the modular facility effectively extends the freshness of fruits, vegetables, and other perishable foods from 2 days up to 21 days. Are you interested in starting a business that develops solar energy solutions to power Africa's clean energy transition and meet niche needs like cold storage? Leave a comment, say I am ready, type I am ready, and I will give you a heart. Number 7. Building and construction supplies. Africa is going through a construction boom, an opportunity that will certainly create a lot of wealth for entrepreneurs on the continent. It's no surprise that Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, is heavily invested in the cement business. Cement is one of the most important materials for building and construction workhouses, buildings, roads, bridges, etc. Africa used to spend billions of dollars to import cement, but not anymore. Dangote and other cement producers like Lafarge are spreading fast across the continent. Cement is just one example of several building and construction supplies that are growing in demand across Africa. The demand for steel is another multi-billion-dollar business opportunity that's probably bigger than cement. Timber, wood, roofing materials, glass, paints, plumbing, and electrical supplies are other products that are enjoying a high demand due to the construction boom that's happening across the continent. Number 8. Crocodile farms for exotic luxury leather. Crocodile skin is the most expensive exotic luxury leather in the world. Due to its exceptional quality, unique texture, durability, and luxurious appeal, crocodile skin is the most sought-after luxury exotic leather by high-end fashion brands, even though it makes up less than 1% of the worldwide leather industry by volume. A crocodile Birkin bag by Hermes, for example, costs between $7,000 and $38,000, and a Louis Vuitton crocodile leather backpack, Summer 2016 collection, retailed for $81,500. To meet the growing global demand for crocodile skins, breeding crocodiles on dedicated farms has emerged as a key source of skins for luxury brands. As a result, crocodile farming is a lucrative export-focused business that supplies up to 2 million skins on international markets annually, valued at almost $1 billion. Crocodile skins are prized by premium brands for a wide range of leather goods that include footwear, bags, and other fashion accessories. The supply-demand gap for crocodile skins is growing so fast that some brands are getting directly involved in owning crocodile farms in order to secure their supply chains. In 2020, high-end French luxury fashion brand Hermès announced plans to build one of Australia's biggest crocodile farms, a $40 million facility that would hold up to 50,000 saltwater crocodiles. Another high-end label, Louis Vuitton, owns a number of crocodile farms in Australia, the world's largest producer of saltwater crocodile skins. Besides its exotic skins, crocodiles are also valued for their meat, with more than 500 tons exported annually. The biggest buyers of crocodile meat are consumers in China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. Crocodile blood, bones, and fat are also important inputs in the pharmaceutical and alternative medicine industries. Fortunately, of the 3 crocodile species that are most valued for their skins, 2 of them are native to Africa: the Nile crocodile and the African dwarf crocodile. However, it is important to note that some crocodile species are classified as critically endangered, and a few are actually close to extinction due to the combined effects of illegal hunting and poaching, habitat destruction, climate change, and pollution that have led to a drastic reduction in wild crocodile populations. Number 9. Diaspora investment funds. Africa has one of the largest diaspora populations in the world, with over 20 million migrants from the continent living and working in North America, Europe, and Asia. This growing diaspora population has a massive, but largely untapped, economic advantage for Africa. Countries like India, Israel, Mexico, and the Philippines are just a few examples that prove the investment and business potential that lies in diaspora communities. According to Mr. Akinwumi Adesina, the president of the African Development Bank Group, AFDB, in just 1 decade, the value of remittances from Africans living abroad more than doubled from $37 billion in 2010 to $87 billion in 2019. By 2021, it reached $95.6 billion, significantly higher than the total international financial aid and development assistance to Africa in the same year. For example, in countries like South Sudan, Gambia, Senegal, and Lesotho, inflows from the diaspora contribute at least 15% of the national GDP. In Nigeria, diaspora remittances have often exceeded crude oil revenues and foreign direct investment. In fact, if it were a bank, the diaspora would be Africa's 3rd largest bank in terms of total assets. But this is only the beginning of a remittance wave to Africa that will get bigger in 2024 and beyond. As a result of this demographic advantage, migrants from Africa will serve as a critical labor pool and workforce for the global market for, at least, the next 3 decades. It's no surprise a growing number of wealthy countries and regions are developing immigration-friendly study visas, work visas, and permanent residence programs to attract skilled people and young professionals from Africa. And this targeted immigration strategy is working. As a result, Africa has become, in essence, a major exporter of talent and labor to foreign markets. In countries like Nigeria, which has Africa's biggest population, Japa is a very popular local term that describes the wave of immigration by doctors, nurses, bankers, engineers, and other professionals to North America, Europe, Australia, and the Middle East. While this massive brain drain has damaging impacts on the continent's development, Africa's growing diaspora population can become a major economic force for the continent's long-term growth and development, particularly in the area of remittances and direct investment. Currently, however, most of the remittances that flow into Africa mostly focus on family support and welfare spending. But as more foreign investors become increasingly active in Africa and earn huge returns in emerging sectors like tech, infrastructure, and financial services, Africa's diaspora remittances can be channeled to take advantage of these investment opportunities on the continent. The concept of a diaspora investment fund provides a viable alternative source for venture capital, private equity, bonds, concessional loans, mutual funds, real estate investment trusts, and other return-yielding opportunities. Interestingly, there are signs this approach to investing Africa's remittances is taking off. In Kenya, Pangea Trust, a startup accelerator and investment platform, raised up to $1 million from diaspora remittances for 9 local startups in 2022. Like India and Israel, which have very successful diaspora bonds, some African countries like Nigeria, $300 million, Ethiopia, $4.9 million, Egypt, and Kenya have leveraged diaspora bonds to raise capital for key infrastructure projects. Other interesting initiatives to watch include AFAD's Diaspora Investment in Agriculture, DTE, the African Union's African Diaspora Investment Fund, Diaspora Affairs Office of the President, DOP, and Ghana Diaspora Investment Desk, DID. These exciting new platforms could shape the economic and social impacts of Africa's huge and growing diaspora remittances. 10. Electric vehicle charging stations. It is now more likely than ever that the shift to electric vehicles, EVs, will happen in our lifetime. The United States, the European Union, and other major world economies are making significant commitments to pivot to EVs. There is also growing competition among new and established car companies like Tesla, Ford, Toyota, Volkswagen, etc., to lead the global market transition to EVs. In 2021, sales of electric cars reached 6.6 million units, growing its market share by more than 300% from just 2 years earlier. As demand for EVs accelerates in the world's developed markets, analysts estimate that up to 54% of new cars sold by 2035 could be electric vehicles. Also, the rise of Chinese EV brands like BYD, Wuling, NIO, Xpeng, and Zeekr is heating up competition in the global electric car industry and helping to drive down prices. But what will this emerging global opportunity in electric vehicles mean for Africa? For decades, many African countries have struggled with long queues at fuel stations, crippling fuel shortages, and frequent hikes in the price of fuels that are critical to the transportation and energy needs of consumers. In 2023 alone, the retail price of petrol and diesel rose dramatically in a number of African countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. In Nigeria, the petrol price hike exceeded 200% as the government removed controversial subsidies. Still, with rising oil prices in the international market and the unfavorable impacts of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, the IMF estimates that Africa's fuel import bill will grow by about $19 billion. Faced with frequent fuel shortages and high costs of petrol and diesel, electric vehicles present a very strong value proposition to African consumers. However, besides the lucrative opportunities for importing, producing, and selling EVs in Africa, there is a much bigger business opportunity in providing the key infrastructure, mainly charging stations that will support the use of electric vehicles on the continent. If anything, the key reason why electric vehicles have not yet taken off in Africa is largely due to the lack of, and limited access to, support infrastructure, especially charging infrastructure. As a result, those early movers who take advantage of this infrastructure gap in the African market could reap huge benefits. Africa is a continent of endless possibilities, where entrepreneurial spirit and innovative ideas can lead to wealth and success. By exploring the diverse business opportunities that Africa has to offer, you can carve out a niche for yourself in thriving industries and build a lucrative enterprise that transforms your financial future. If this video has improved your life in any way, and you want to make the most of it, please leave a remark like this. I just wanted to say that I remain till the very end. When I see this, I'll give you a heart. Your feedback is very valuable to me. So please feel free to share your ideas and observations in the space provided for comments below. I read all of your comments. Whether you're passionate about agriculture, technology, or hospitality, there's a business idea in Africa waiting for you to seize it and turn it into a profitable venture. So, roll up your sleeves, unleash your creativity, and embark on a journey towards riches with these 10 profitable business ideas in Africa. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more inspiring content on our channel. Until next time, happy entrepreneuring!